Good evening, dear viewers, and welcome to RTD's English News Edition. Here are the top stories. In Kenya, the RSA participates in the investiture ceremony of President Kenyatta. Immigration and security at the heart of the 5th Europe-Africa Summit at Abidjan. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, participates in the country of Kenya in the ceremony along with 20 other heads of states and government, and he takes part in the inauguration ceremony of the re-elected President of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta. President Guelleh's participation in the inauguration ceremony of his re-elected Kenyan counterpart testifies to the privileged nature of the relations of friendship and cooperation between the two nations. In addition to belonging to the same sub-region, Djibouti and Kenya sharpened their proximity through a common subscription to many values and ideals of major interests, such as safeguarding and promoting political stability in this part of the world. Their respective commitments to Somalia's peace process, including through AMISOM, the African Standby Force in Somalia, illustrate the valuable contribution they both make for the stabilization and security of Somalia. In addition to his participation in the inauguration ceremony of his re-elected counterpart of Kenya, the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, took advantage of this trip to Nairobi to meet with the main political leaders of this friendly country, whose President Uhuru Kenyatta himself. He will also meet with several other leaders, including him, in the inauguration ceremony of President Kenyatta. At the end of this trip to Kenya, the President of the Republic will visit Abidjan, the capital of the Côte d'Ivoire, where he will take part from 29 to 3 November on the 5th summit between the European Union and the African Union. The summit between the European Union and the African Union will focus on investing in youth for a sustainable future. And on the national news, the Youth League of East Africa and the Djiboutian Youth Association for the Development of Badminton, AJDDP, organized yesterday the ceremony of the birthday of President Ismail Omar Guelleh. At the school district 6, the young people of neighborhood 6 took part massively in this ceremony. On this occasion, sports activities were organized for young people from the neighborhood 6. The football competitions, including young people under 17, and competitions were organized in badminton with 2 clubs. Badminton is a new sports activity in Djibouti, and the members of this federation have dedicated this competition to President Guelleh. The ceremony was attended by the President of the East African Youth League, Mr. Samatar Ali Hassan, and the President of the Badminton Association. On the 3rd day of his official visit to Somalia, the President of the National Assembly, Mohammed Ali Mohammed, was received by the Federal Assembly of Somalia by President Mohammed Sheikh Osman Al-Jawhari. After the presentation, the President Al-Jawhari paid a tribute to his host, whose praised determination and above all commitment to strengthening and consolidating the cooperative relations between the two institutions. In addition, the President Jawhari held to transmit the recognition of the Somali homeland to the place of the President of the Republic of Djibouti. The Speaker of the National Assembly, Mohammed Ali Mohammed, and the parliamentary delegation of the Republic of Djibouti had an extended meeting of Senate led by the Vice President, the Honorable Abshir Mohammed Ahmed. And taking the floor in his turn, the President of the National Assembly has adopted a historical speech in the Somalian language in Arab. The Chief of the National Assembly expressed in the name of his delegation, in his personal name, his gratitude and indicated how he was happy to be on the side of the Somalian brother people. The President of the National Assembly thanked its Somali peer for the welcome, hospitality, and especially the program and the Somalian people reserved for him and for his delegation. Finally, the President Mohammed Ali Mohammed transmitted the messages of fraternity and solidarity of President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh. And in the day, the President of the National Assembly has been received in hearing by the President of the Federal Republic of Somalia, His Excellency Mohamed Abdullahi Farmajo. And this is in the presence of President Jawahari, Ambassador Aden Hassan Aden, and Mr. Idris Mohamed Ahmed, Superior Officer of as well as the discussions between both personalities have taken over the voices and means to strengthen the benefits of cooperation and fraternity unite the two nations. Within the framework of the reinforcement of the capacities of agents in public administration and public establishments, which is at the heart of the reform, the Ministry of Labour, in charge of the reform of the administration, in collaboration with the Executive Secretariat in charge of the reform of the administration, yesterday organized for the first time a day of graduation for the specialized graduate diploma in public administration for manager contractions in public management test of INAP National School of Public Administration of Quebec. This ceremony was chaired by the Minister of Labour in charge of the reform of the administration, Mr. Asindiri Semire. The training was launched in September 2013 after a careful selection of the Canadian juries to draw the profiles of 20 candidates from different structures, namely the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Energy, ADDS, RTD, Airport, and ONIAT, among others. This online training program has been funded on the own funds of the state budget, and to date 9 candidates who have finalized the program are in the future and will contribute to the improvement of the other agents of the state. And for his part, the Minister of Labour in charge of the administration of the reform, Hassan Idris Samire, held to congratulate the candidates. He pledged to revise the framework of these candidates in public administration. Today, at the end of the morning, the Secretary General of the State Secretariat of Youth and Sports, Mohamed Ahmed Farah, chaired an important consultation meeting as part of the preparation for the national dialogue with youth, initiated by the head of state during the celebration of the National and African Youth Day on November the 1st. The working meeting brought together, in addition to the Secretary General, senior officials from the youth department. The Secretary General has asked the community centers managers to work in the field to select leaders, groups of young citizens and patriots who, in the name of youth, can present their grievances and aspirations on behalf of the youth and young people during this upcoming national dialogue between Djiboutian youth and the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Murgele. As part of the celebration of the Djiboutian Child's Week, the Ministry of Women and the Family, in collaboration with the National Union of Djibouti Women UNFD, organized a forum for young people on Tuesday, November 28 at the People's Palace. Chaired by the Secretary General of the Ministry of Women and the Family, Yasmin Salim Said, the forum saw the participation of several sectoral departments, namely the Secretary of Social Affairs, the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Health, Education, Justice, Business, and as well as Muslim Affairs, and the State Secretary of Youth and Sports. Also, children from different parts of the capital as well as civil society took part in this forum. This forum is part of various activities that the Ministry has planned to mark the celebration of the Week of the Child. The UNFD inaugurated this morning the campaign to eliminate violence against women in partnership with the government, the Danish Council for Refugees, and UN agencies like UNFPA, UNHCR, and UNICEF. And this campaign to eliminate gender-based violence was conducted for the first time globally in 1991. It covers 16 days. The theme of this year's campaign is Leave No One Behind, ending violence against women and girls. UNFD's activities against violence against girls began today on 27 November and ends on 10 September. Throughout this 2-week campaign, the UNFD is planning various activities, including in-country refugee camps, such as celebration of International AIDS Days and this disabled in the International Day of Human Rights. As well, a man celebrated on December 10, the same day that this campaign will end. The State Secretariat for Social Affairs, in collaboration with the Ministry of Decentralization, launched a vast campaign for the enumeration of special needs persons, and this morning throughout the country. In Obok, this operation will continue until 15 December 2017, taking into account the national reflection of the month of May dedicated to the problem of the disabled and to better meet the expectations and needs of these persons. The government wants to have reliable statistics and social culture data on people with disabilities or this general assessment of persons with special needs. A major event in the message is in which it will permit national decision makers first to have a more specific estimate for special needs on all the territory, but still characterize their situation to define the concept of handicap. And moving on to the regional news, 3 civilians were wounded in Burkina Faso on Monday after a grenade was thrown at the French troops shortly before President Emmanuel Macron touched down for the start of his first Africa tour. Let's listen to Hindi Ibrahim.
The French president is embarking on a 3-day trip of Western Africa aimed at boosting France's regional influence, stemming the continent's migrant studies and bolstering the fight against violent Islamist militants in exile. The visit was marked by an attempted attack on French troops in the capital, Ouagadougou, just hours before Macron's arrival. 2 hooded individuals on a motorcycle threw a grenade towards a French army vehicle as it made its way to a Paris housing French Special Force. A security source told AFP on condition of anonymity.
In Côte d'Ivoire, immigration and security at the heart of the 5th Europe-Africa Summit. Let's listen to Hindi Ibrahim.
On Monday, August 28, French President Emmanuel Macron summited a mini-summit about immigration. This has been an occasion for some actors of this European and African phenomenon to give a clear picture of progress reached since the Valletta summit on November 2015.
Well, that's all for this news. Thank you for joining us on RTD and have a wonderful evening.